Drafting with Numot is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com and GatheringMagic.com. Explore the game.
Hello friends, Kenji aka Numot back again for another edition of Drafting with Numot. This time we are going to do Modern Masters 2015, which they've brought back in preparation for the World Championships, which when you guys see this video will be the following weekend, so should be pretty exciting, and this will give you a nice little refresher on the Modern Masters 2015 format, or hopefully it will. So let's join the queue, and we'll see you back when the draft fires. Okay, here we are for the drafting portion of our Modern Masters 2015. We opened a Niv Mizzet the Firemind, who's definitely pretty decent, but a little bit, I don't know, narrow in field, right? You have to either go 5-color or blue-red elementals, which is fine, but I don't think I'm going to take them off the bat here because we have one of the best uncommons in the format, Selesnya Guildmage. This card can just single-handedly win the game on its own. Not to say that Niv Mizzet can't, but this is just a house, and I think green-white tokens is actually one of the better archetypes. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Selesnya Guildmage here. Not passing too many other great things. Dispatch is fine. Fiery Fall's fine. Gnarlid Pack, Grim Affliction. But some other cards. Happy to take the Guildmage here and see if we can go the token route. And immediately get a nice one for that deck. Scatter the Seeds is definitely one of the commons that you're looking for when you're going the token route. Some other nice cards in the pack. Artisan's very powerful, but very expensive. Spread the Sickness is great. Glinthawk Idol, Gnarlid Pack. Grim Affliction. Igniter is great for the Elemental deck. And then there's a Narcolepsy here, but I'm going to go ahead and just take the Scatter the Seeds. Now, I'm going to say this. You shouldn't generally try and force an archetype in this format. It's much better just to stay open because so many playables are in the set. That is to say, like 95% of the cards are playable. You're generally going to end up with enough playables, and if you're in what's open, you're going to have a very, very good deck. Here, we don't see anything for the green-white tokens list. We have some cards that are in color. I could take like Kavu Primarch, but I think Glass Dust Hulk is very, very good for the Affinity archetype or the Artifacts archetype. And again, stay open. We'll go ahead and just take this and see what happens here. So a few different routes I can go down. I can take the Overwhelm, which is fine in the tokens deck. You always want these type of effects. I can take the Fairy Mechanist, which is good in the Artifact list. Or I can take like a Vines, Gnarlid Pack, maybe a Sickle Slicer, which go into the tokens, or I guess Sickle Slicer goes into Affinity pretty well as well. I think here I'm going to take the Overwhelm. Has a little bit more synergy, but remember, staying open is key, so I could move around, definitely. Okay, so two good signals here for us, both for artifacts and for tokens. Right, Raise the Alarm and Scion are great for the tokens list, but Glass Dust Hulk and Rusted Relic are both very good for the Affinity list. And given that I already have 3 green-white tokens cards as opposed to artifact cards, I'm going to take one of the green-white cards here. It's probably going to be the Scion. I do like the tokens a lot, especially that I already have the Convoke spells at the top end, but Scion's another win condition just by itself. So happy to pick that up. Deck's looking really solid so far. We're just going to look for like Kozilek's Predators, Nest Invaders, even like Tukatongue Thalids are fine in this deck because of the synergies it has. So pretty happy with how things are going right now. Remember, we're only 5 picks into the draft. Here we have a poor pack. So to note, I don't have to be green-white tokens. Green-black is also definitely a thing, and I'm only losing on like a mutagenic growth here. The green-black version is more about sacrifice synergies than anything else, whereas the white is more about massing creatures and pumping them, but we'll stay open. Pretty easy Blinding Souleater here. Decent card, for sure. I'm going to be leaning toward green-white, but again, if we get like a Necrogenesis or something, could definitely move back into the green-black. Both of them have their ups and downs, for sure. Alright, Fortify, Flare Husk, Primarch, Tukatongue. The thing about the tokens list is that you really want these pump spells, like I was mentioning with the Overwhelm. Here, though, I think we're going to take the Primarch. Phil's Curve, we don't necessarily need the Fortify this early. Flare Husk and Tukatongue are fine, but not amazing. If I'm going to take low drops, I'd rather them be the premier low drops like the Nest Invader. Those are the ones you're really looking for. Alright, some cards on the wheel. We have a Mighty Leap and a Grim Affliction. Both fine. I'm going to take the Grim Affliction just because I think it's slightly better. And again, we're still staying open to green-black. Alright. We'll take that Bloodthrone Vampire. Again, pretty nice in the green-black tokens list. So it looks like the black might be more open than the white is, which is completely fine. Selesnya Guildmage is still good as a 2-mana 2/2 that can put out 1/1 tokens. And I can always, you know, splash a white source if I really want to. Probably worth it. The Guildmage is definitely that powerful. I know a lot of people like Drooling Grudion, but I hate this card, even though it goes really well in the green-black tokens list. It's 6 mana for a 4/3, so pretty bad stats. And then the activated ability is just so expensive, even though it is powerful. I think the Culling Dais is actually just going to be better here. We already have a little bit of synergy with the Culling Dais, with the Grim Affliction to proliferate, and all of the token producers, so I think that's going to be a little bit better. Plus, if we pick up like a reassembling skeleton, then the Dais is just going to get a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and take Vines here over Grim Affliction number 2. Always like having at least one of those. Wow, Glass Dust wheeling is kind of crazy. So indeed, it looks like artifacts might be open. But, you know, we have plenty of good green and black cards right now, too. I'm not too upset with the route that we went down. If we open like a Cranial Plating or an Etched Champion, yeah, I'll be a little sad, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. Hellkite Charger, that's also a very, very nice one. So we have multiple picks here. We have like Darksteel Axe, Sigil Blessing, Bone Spinners. Even like a Kite Sail is fine. Sigil Blessing would be great if we were going down the green-white tokens list, but I think we're going to be taking either the Bone Splinters or the Darksteel Axe here. And I think Bone Splinters is just very, very important for these decks. You have a lot of tokens you don't mind throwing away, and your creatures are generally smaller, so being able to throw away one of your tokens for one of their bigger creatures is usually pretty nice. Still need to lower my curve and get some more low drops. Oh, this pack's very, very sad for me. Apocalypse Hydra, definitely very solid. It's not as good on the splash because you want more red sources for its activated ability, but still a very large card. I think I'm just going to take Darksteel Axe here as I continue to pass along some nice artifacts. Switch right now into artifacts. It might pan out. I have... well, I'd only have 4 playables after this pick here. Yeah, maybe not. Darksteel Axe is just great anyways. Alright, there's that reassembling skeleton I was talking about, but there is another Selesnya Guildmage here. In fact, this pack is just very good. Sunlance, Manta, Mana Leak, Skeleton, Guildmage, Vampire, Burst Lightning, Conclave Phalanx, all great. Yep, just going to take another Guildmage. Pretty hard to pass that up. Reassembling Skeleton, again, very, very scary and very, very good in this deck, but can't pass it. Alright, looks like we're going to be taking a Daggerclaw Imp here. Not the best of cards for the tokens list, but certainly okay. And we want to just pick up more creatures at this point. Ow, Nest Invader. That's exactly what we were looking for. Passing a Flare Husk and a Tukatongue Thalid, but very, very happy to see that. Again, I don't have to be black right now. I could still be green-white. I do have that Blinding Souleater in the sideboard, and that helps the Guildmages a lot. And with double Guildmage, I'm definitely going to be playing some amount of white sources, even if it's just on the splash. We'll just have to see whether where this pack takes us. And then again, we still have pack 3 to go as well, so I think we're sitting in a fine position. Alright, well, this is a really great pack for us. Scute Mob, Spread the Sickness, Flare Husk, another Scion, and a Tukatongue. So it's going to be between the Scute, the Spread, and the Scion. I'm actually not a huge fan of Scute Mob in these type of decks. It's definitely the most powerful card, but it's very slow, and you know, it just feels so weak to me. I think Spread the Sickness and Scion are probably better picks here. That being said, Scute Mob can be a bomb, and I'm not going to pass it. Plus, it's an early drop, so. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and take Tukatongue here over any of these black cards. I'm still going to put myself in a position where I can switch into white if necessary, and Tukatongue is perfectly fine in these decks. That being said, I will take Dread Drone here over Vines number 2. Because right now we have, what, 4, 8, 12, 13 playables if I move back into green-white. And wheeling the Sigil Blessing is another huge sign for me, too. I'm going to stay open. Let's take a look at what this feels like. Go like this, put this in. Yeah, our green-white list is also very solid. That's a really late Frogling. I'm not going to be playing the Crusher in this deck. I'll just take the Alloy Mirror. Don't want to be running the Alloy Mirror, but it's the card I'm most likely to play at this point. Looking good so far. Conclave Phalanx, another underrated card in the green-white tokens list. Definitely happy to take that. I'm not going to take another Culling Dice, but a second Vines is fine. Another Tukatongue also fine. I don't think the Karplusan Strider is playable in any way. Wow, wheeling the Scion is actually absurd for us. That's a great sign for our deck. Yeah, now we just need very, very few things to make our Pack 3 give us a really strong deck at the end of the draft. That was a great pickup. So more Nest Invaders, Kozilek's Predators, more token producers. That's all we're looking for here. Did not get it. We opened a Ghost Council of Orzhova, but there's a Cytoplast Root-Kin that we can take, as well as another Scion of the Wild. But given how late that Scion went, I'm just going to take the Cytoplast here and be very, very happy with it. Passing Spite Bellows, yada, yada, yada. Great pickup for us. And a Wilt-Leaf Liege to go along with it. Is that good in a green-white tokens list? I do have to pass Arrest and Raise the Alarm, but yeah, I mean, that's obviously one of the best cards we could have gotten. Alright, another Scatter the Seeds. Perfect. Yeah, this deck went from like a C+, maybe a C, into an A very, very quickly. I'm going to look to pick up maybe 1 Fortify or 2 Fortifies if I can. We're still missing a little bit of the Mass Pump. Actually, that's not true. I guess I have double Selesnya Guildmage because I'm going to be in white now. So yeah, we have double Guildmage, Sigil Blessing, and Overwhelm for our Mass Pump, in addition to Wilt-Leaf Liege, which just, you know, naturally gives all of our creatures +1/+1, or +2/+2 even. I'm really, really happy with how this deck panned out. Alright, next pack has a Root-Kin ally for us, which is nice. It's another win condition for sure, and it can come out pretty early with all of the tokens. At that point, or at this point, I'm going to take nothing but like 2s and 3s. Or 1s if they come around. I mean, I'll take a Kozilek's Predator if I see it this late, but we just want to have low drops now. More low drops. Okay, well, Scatter the Seeds isn't exactly a 5-drop, and it's another card that we're really happy to take here. Our deck just turned excellent. Double Guildmage, triple Scatter, we have double Scion, Wilt-Leaf Liege, Overwhelm. Really, really good deck now. And green-white tokens is one of my favorite archetypes to draft in this format, so this was nice all around. We'll take a sideboard Plummet. There are a lot of good sideboard cards in Modern Masters 2015, and I think a lot of times people just pass up on them too quickly. Cards like the 2-color Hosers, Celestial Purge, Deathmark. Then you have cards like Smash to Smithereens, you have Plummet, Sundering Vitae, etc., etc. Okay, well, a little cherry on top here. We just picked up an Overwhelming Stampede, 7th pick. Really, really sad that I have to pass a Kozilek's Predator here, but, I mean, there's nothing much to say. Another Scion of the Wild, too. Okay, our deck is legitimately insane. I'm going to cut Vines now. Maybe even the Culling Dice. I'm a little bit top-heavy, but the only card that doesn't have Convoke is the Overwhelming Stampede. All of my other top-end has Convoke, but I'm sort of missing as many low drops as I'd want for that. But yeah, this deck went from okay in pack 1 in the middle of pack 2 to okay in pack 2 to insane pack 3. Like, we just picked up everything we ever wanted. And as you can see, we got rewarded for staying open and moving into the right color combination. I'm actually going to play that Gnarlid Pack over like the Kavu Primarch. Primarch can get big, but we already have enough win conditions, and Gnarlid Pack is another early drop to help us convoke out those top-end cards that we really want to top-end out. Yeah, this deck is great. Love it. Alright, another Gnarlid Pack here. I could definitely play that over one of my other top-end cards. And another one. Okay, so we got 3 Gnarlid Packs in these last few picks. It's pretty nice for us. I'm not sure what I'd end up cutting. I really like the Conclave Phalanx, and I think the Root-Kin ally is great as well. But it's possible I could cut the Overwhelm or something. Maybe not, though. I'm at 25, so I need to cut 2 cards. What are the cuts going to be? I mean, maybe 1 Gnarlid Pack. Maybe Root-Kin ally? That just feels wrong. And I really, again, like the Conclave Phalanx, but I guess I could probably end up cutting that instead. Go like this. This is so great, though, because it comes down early, and a lot of times you end up in racing situations, and people just don't respect the life gain potential. But I guess I already... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna run the Conclave Phalanx over the Root-Kin ally. We have enough win conditions. We'd rather have tokens than a single large creature, and I think this is a little bit more synergistic. So let's ship this. We're going to want a lot more forest than plains. I think 10-7 or 11-6 is probably great. Yeah, probably go with 11-6 here. White we only need for the Blinding Souleater, which we can always just pay life, Sigil Blessing, and Conclave Phalanx, and then the pumps on the Guildmage. In fact, I could probably go 5-12. Just to play it safe. That gives me more likelihood to play our 1-drops and our double green cards. In fact, that's probably better. Alright, let's ship this, and we'll see you guys back for round 1 with our sweet green-white tokens list.
Thank you for watching Drafting with Numot. If you haven't already subscribed to Gathering Magic, you can do so to receive news of upcoming videos and discover new content. You can also check out our playlist that contains every episode of Drafting with Numot. And don't forget, you can easily watch the next video by clicking on the annotation on screen or a direct link in the video's description box. And as always, thanks for watching.